Hey, how's it going? How's everyone doing out there? Good, I hope. It's been a while, so it's nice to be back on here showing records again. Um, yeah, I've missed doing videos, so it's nice to be back. I got a decent stack of records to show you guys from a couple of digs, so what the heck, let's go for it. The first one that I'm happy to have, so happy to have, is Seal's second album, which is a self-titled Seal. This is the 30th, good lord, 30th anniversary pressing. I can't believe this album's 30 years old. I had this on CD when it first came out 30 years ago. Jeez. And it was always one of my favorite CDs in my collection because I really do love this album. I know the popular song on here was Kiss from a Rose because it was on the Batman soundtrack. And because of that, it got a lot of radio airplay. MTV played the video what felt like nonstop. So I think it made everyone sick of the song. And I do like that song, but it's not the best song on this album. The song Prayer for the Dying was really what got me into this record in the first place. I thought that was a great song. I still do. It's a beautiful song. And this remaster for the anniversary pressing makes that song and this whole album just sound amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's not a gatefold. It's a 2-record set. And my version that I bought from Barnes & Noble is the clear vinyl version. Both records look like this. I'll just show this album. Really nice looking record. I like what they did with it. Very cool. Very cool. And the remaster audio sounds absolutely amazing. It sounds killer. Absolutely killer. This album sounds fantastic. Way better than my CD from 30 years ago. It just sounds that amazing. Now, like I said, Kiss from a Rose is a good song, but not my favorite. Like I said, Prayer for the Dying, great song, as well as Dreaming in Metaphors, and the song Fast Changes, and A Newborn Friend. Those are my favorite songs on this record. That's what makes this album so killer for me, was those songs. So it's great to have this anniversary pressing with the great remaster mix on it. It sounds amazing. And side 4 is a side full of rarities. The song Manic Depression, the Hendrix cover, with Jeff Beck on guitar, still on vocals, sounds fantastic. I never heard it before until this collection. Sounds great. The Wind Cries Mary, he does a good version of that. And Fly Like an Eagle are just some of the rarities on side 4 that sound killer. So this is a good pressing, anniversary pressing. I mean, the audio sounds so much better than the CD from 30 years ago. Real glad I picked this up, especially the clear vinyl version from Barnes & Noble. So glad to have this finally in my collection. When I first joined the VC and got into vinyl and in the crazy way that I did, for years, this was the record I was looking for in the record stores while digging, assuming it was on vinyl. I think there is import pressing of it from back in the day. That's real expensive if you can find it. I never found one. So to finally have this in my collection is like, thank God, because this has been on my list for a long time. And it is so good to finally have it in the collection. So let's move on. Next record is from Missing Persons. It is a live record, Missing Persons live, live in Santa Clarita, October 10th, 1982. Basically, the amusement park Magic Mountain is where this was recorded from. It's a radio broadcast, and I guess they found the recordings, bought the rights to it or whatever, and put it on this disc. The record company that put this out is Cleopatra Records. And they've been doing a lot of Missing Persons releases, like the anniversary of Spring Session M. The other live album before this, which was A Night in San Francisco, which I also have, which basically has the same set list because it's from the same year. Now, with all these releases, the packaging is really nice. They always have some really nice looking album covers, and the back cover always looks cool. And their inserts... album inserts always look nice. See, that looks pretty good. See, that looks good. That looks good. I like that. And it's on colored vinyl, as they all are. They're on some kind of colored vinyl. That looks nice. So the looks of it, it looks really nice. My only complaint is, if you can see this track listing, there's 6 songs per side on this album. So they squeeze a lot of music into one disc. I wish they would have spread it on a 2-record set, and maybe the audio quality would sound better, because this is an FM broadcast recording, radio recording. It doesn't sound bad, but it could sound better. Now, I have the anniversary pressing of Spring Session M that this company did out, and my old vinyl copy, my used vinyl copy of Spring Session M, sounds better than their recent one as far as sound quality. So that's my complaint about Cleopatra Records, a company that puts out these new missing persons releases, is the sound quality could be better, but the missing persons fan in me is just glad to see these albums getting the light of day. So I guess beggars can't be choosers, but that's just my sour grapes, I guess you could say. Sound quality could be better. Even Spring Session M, and that's just a studio recording. That's not a live recording. And my old pressing sounds better. And I was like, good Lord, come on guys, get it right. This is a cool band, especially during this year, 82. But it's nice to have these live recordings in my collection. I got 1 CD of their live recordings, probably from the same year. And they're fun to listen to. They're real fun to listen to. All right, these next few records were records that I had previously, but I always wanted a better audiophile copy of it to improve the sound wise. So let's go for it. It's the next few here. The first one up is from Living Colour, their first album, Vivid. Like I said, I had a used pressing of this years ago when I first started my collection, that I think I probably scored for like $4, and that satisfied me because I just wanted the album on vinyl. But as the years went on, I noticed that they had an audiophile pressing. I thought, this is one of my favorite all-time albums, and it would be nice to have a real good pressing of it. And this is from Music on Vinyl, and they put this on 180 gram vinyl. So I was real excited to score this and check it out. And I'm telling you, once I put the needle on this, my God, is it a big upgrade from my used copy that I scored a long time ago. This is a huge upgrade. The sound on this is fantastic. The band sounds killer on this new mix. It's on Epic label. The band sounds amazing. The low end kicks like a mule on this on this recording. It sounds really thick and badass. The band sounds great. And of course here is the insert with a nice band picture. Lyrics to the songs on that side. Very good remix. Very good remix. Very powerful sounding. I noticed a huge difference right away. The second this Cult of Personality started, I was like, oh wow, this sounds so much better. So much better. So well worth the money to get a better copy of it. I mean, I only do this for records that are important, albums that were important to me, something that I know I listened to death when they first came out, and this was definitely one of them. Because I remember buying this on cassette when it first came out, because I love the song Cult of Personality. So I bought it on a cassette. The first time I listened to this album in its entirety, it kind of threw me a bit because it wasn't what I was expecting. But then again, I don't know what I was expecting. So when I first heard it, I was like, wow, that's not what I was expecting. And I only had to listen to it a couple times, and it more than grew on me. It quickly became one of my favorite albums, and still is. This album is awesome. And to finally have a good pressing of it, I'm glad I took care of that, because it is a much needed upgrade, and I'm glad I did it. As well with this record, Pyromania from Def Leppard. Probably the first hard rock album I liked, because growing up in my neighborhood, all we listened to was R&B and early days of hip hop here, and that's all I listened to. This was the first hard rock album that actually more than caught my attention. It turned me into a fan. I eventually bought it on cassette and realized how much I love this album and how much I love Def Leppard. I mean, this is back when I was like 12, 13 years old when this album first came out. And this sounds amazing. It's from Abbey Road Studios. They're half-speed mastering. I have quite a few records from Abbey Road Studios and their half-speed mastering mix. All those records sound amazing, and this is another one that sounds amazing. Just a plain red insert. And it is on the Vertical label, one of my favorite labels, album labels, the Spaceship Vertical label. I love that. I only have a few records with that label, but when I find them, I'm happy because I love that label. Yeah, this was one of my first hard rock albums that I liked, and so I went out and bought the cassette of it back in the day, and no regrets. I mean, I became an instant fan of this album from the very first listen. It is that great of an album. So, you know, when I first started my collection, I found a used copy for $3-4. This blows it away because the mix on here is so good. The drums really sound amazing on this album. I always love the way drums sound on Def Leppard albums. They always make the drums sound really great, but the whole band is mixed very well. It's such a good mix. Abbey Road does these amazing remasters of these albums, and this is no exception. This sounds amazing. It's like hearing it for the first time. I mean, it got me so excited. I started looking up old Def Leppard concerts on YouTube from this era, and I found quite a few, and it's got me back into Def Leppard again. So glad to have finally upgraded that album. It was needed. God, was it needed. As well as this one from The Police, Ghost in the Machine, again from Abbey Road. And I love the strip on this, and especially that picture there. It's a cool looking strip. Goes with the album art really well. And this is another album. This is definitely one of my favorite albums from The Police. So that and Synchronicity. I have an audiophile pressing of this already. I think it was the knotless pressing of it. And that one does sound good, except it had some skips on a few songs because I bought it used. Not the case here. This one sounds even better than my knotless audiophile pressing, and it doesn't skip. Especially when from the opening song, Spirits in the Material World, that song really showed me how big of an upgrade the mix is on this record. It sounds fantastic. That album, when the drums kicked in, it was super loud and clear. It sounded like Stuart Copeland was in this room drumming for me. It sounded amazing. And then the band kicked in, and they kicked in hard. It's such a good mix. Such a good mix. I've never actually heard this record sound this good before. And, oh, I forgot to show with the Def Leppard. When you buy these Abbey Road half-speed mastering, they all come with a certificate. I don't know what to do with it, but it's part of the package, so I'll keep it with the record just to show that I have it. Don't know what the world to do with it, but other than just keep it. But, well, it's a nice touch. But, yeah, the mix on this is so good. I'm so glad I forked over the money to have a good pressing of this album. I'm going to probably be doing that with a lot of my just all-time favorite albums in this mix, in this collection. If I could find a good audiophile pressing of it, I think I'll make the move because it is such a big upgrade. It usually is. Alright, this next one is from Howard Jones. A record I did have before, but this is like a special limited edition pressing from his album Transform, which I believe came out in 2019, so it's quite an old record now. Still a new record to me, even though I've had it since 2019. I always love the insert on this. It's a nice looking insert. Some beautiful artwork on this album. And this is a limited edition white pressing, so white vinyl. And it looks nice. It looks really nice, especially with these labels. It really makes the labels pop. I love it. Absolutely love it. And the music is really good on this album. I really love the title track, Transform. Sounds great. And the song, The One to Love You. But the whole album itself is fantastic. I mean, this is one of my favorite Howard Jones albums. I put this up there with his 80s albums because it is that good. I mean, to me, there's really no throwaway on this album. The whole thing sounds great. And I saw him in concert during this tour when he was promoting this record, and even that concert was fantastic. So, so I have this on black vinyl, but it's really nice to have this limited edition white vinyl pressing of this record because, like I said, this record means a lot to me. It's a real good one, and I saw him on that tour, and that was such a good night. Another record I already own, but it's a special pressing of it, so I thought, why not? It's from Genesis, and then there were three. Album that came out in 1978. And this is a special pressing on Rhino's Sounds of Summer series on Sea Blue vinyl. Now, when I look at this record, I don't think summer. When I listen to this album, and the music on it, I don't think summer. This always sounded like a winter or a fall album to me. I definitely don't think summer. Invisible Touch to me would be like a summer album. But yeah, the people at Rhino think, hey, this album reminds us of summer. There's the gatefold. Always like the gatefold. I like the color, the blue and the purple, and this. It looks cool. It looks cool to me. Anyway, it's on blue vinyl, or sea blue vinyl, as they say. Hopefully it catches the light. Otherwise, this is going to look like a black record, black vinyl. But it is like a dark blue vinyl. It looks really nice. It looks really nice, especially against that Charisma label. It looks great. So I just wanted the pressing because of the color vinyl. It's I know it's going to be kind of rare, so I snatched one. Rhino put out a white vinyl of Genesis album Duke, and they put out a yellow vinyl for Trick of the Tail, clear vinyl for Selling to England by the Pound. I got all those, and now I got this. Yeah, if they're going to put out these special pressings, why not get them? Because I'm a huge Genesis fan. I'm a huge fan of Genesis vinyl. And I collect as much as I can see that I don't have. And yeah, I mean, yeah, and this album, I remember when I first started collecting Genesis records or albums, I had it on cassette. It really didn't impress me very much. So it really wasn't my favorite Genesis album. So I didn't listen to it much in my younger years. As I got older and I started listening to it more, I started appreciating what this album is. And now I think it's I wouldn't say it's their best, but it's definitely a very good album. And I start to go to it more often than I did when I first got it. So, underrated Genesis album maybe, but it did have their first big hit, which was Follow You, Follow Me. But this is really a good album. It's nice to have these special pressings of it. Really nice. Alright, I'm going to show you a few singles. It's been a long time since I showed some Marillion vinyl on this channel. And I found this picture disc single, and I thought it was really cool. Let me just get it out of the sleeves here. It's for the song Punchin' Judy from Marillion, and it's this picture disc. So really nice to have that. Look at that. You know, picture discs, the reputation is they sound awful. This actually sounds not bad. I mean, I wouldn't say it sounds great as far as like the mix and audio quality. It's better to go with a regular black vinyl. But it sounds pretty good for a picture disc. Really nice. And I really like the song Punchin' Judy. That's on the A side. The B side, Market Square's Heroes and Three Boats Down from the Candy. Some good songs. Some really good songs from the Fish era of Marillion, which is still my favorite. Nothing against Hogarth, because they made some great songs with Steve Hogarth as a singer. And it's really cool to find these rare pieces in the Marillion singles collection. I got a pretty good collection going. I mean, it's and especially hard to find living in America. I'm sure in the UK you can find these in any of their record shops, but in America, a little hard to come by in shops. So if I find these things in shops, I usually just grab them up real quick because they are hard to find here in America. And I love this band, and like I said, this is my favorite era of the band, the Fish era. And I get excited when I find their singles on vinyl. Really excited, especially if it's something I don't have in my collection already. So real glad to put this piece in the collection. Great song too, great song. Here is something I've never seen before. The next two singles I've never seen before. This one's from Rush, and it's a live 12-inch single, live recording of Passage to Bangkok, with the B-side being Free Will. Look at that. This is a promo copy only. So this went straight to FM rock stations. And really cool. It's just live version. Side A was Passage to Bangkok. Side B was Free Will. I think it should be the other way around. I think Free Will is a better song than Passage to Bangkok. Nothing against that song. It's just I think Free Will is a better song. Anyway, it's on the old Mercury Records label. Really cool. Basically, this came out to promote the live album Exit Stage Left, and so these are two cuts from that, and that's really what this was for, to promote that live album. Like I said, they would send this to the rock radio stations in hopes that they would play it so they can promote the live record Exit Stage Left. So this, which came out I believe in 81, or is it 82? No, 1981. So I love collecting anything rare on vinyl from Rush, be it bootlegs or 12-inch singles. So this was a cool find for me. You know, like I said, I've never seen this before. I didn't even know it existed till I found it, and I'm glad to have this in my Rush collection now. Like the Marillion, trying to get a good collection of Rush 12-inch singles on vinyl, and this was a great addition right here. This is another cool 12-inch single that, again, I never seen before, and I'm glad I got it. It's from Kate Bush, and it's for the song Cloud Bursting. And, you know, that picture was taken from the music video, whatever the hell that is, Telescope, whatever the fuck that is. A cool song from Kate Bush. I remember when I first got into vinyl, I tried to get into her earlier records, and I just, for some reason, couldn't get it. I couldn't get into her music, and it was the sound of her voice. She has a really high voice, almost like a Snow White kind of voice. At least to me, it sounded that way. And it was hard for me to get into the songs and get into the music. And I ended up giving those records away to friends who liked Kate Bush. I'm like, here, I was like, here, take it, because I tried. I spin the hell out of this, and I just can't get into it. It's not until the last few months I've really started liking her. I guess I got used to her voice. I took a long time to get used to her voice, at least for me. And now I'm really starting to appreciate the music for what it is. And this song, Cloud Bursting, is really good. Really good. I think I like it more than Running Up That Hill. And it's on EMI, is the label. I think it's the same song on both sides. Yeah, it is. The same thing on both sides. I think it's I don't know if it's just a 12-inch single or promo copy. No, it's a promo copy because it says not for sale. So this is a promotional only copy. So this went to radio stations as well to promote the song, promote the album, Hounds of Love. So, very nice entry into the very small Kate Bush collection, which needs to grow again. I know she remastered a lot of her albums because I see them in the record stores, and they go for a pretty penny. I might have to start buying those to start a Kate Bush collection up again. I have Hounds of Love, which is on a colored vinyl that came out way back in the day. I love that record. I got her Greatest Of on vinyl, so, and that's it so far, and this single, so it may be time to start the Kate Bush collection. It may be time because I'm really loving what I've been hearing lately. Alright, that's going to do it. That's just my little stash of records. I also bought a ton of 45s, but I don't know if 45s are real popular to show on here. I've only done a 45 video a couple of times and they got very, very low views. So if anyone would like to see 45s, let me know in the comments and maybe I'll make one for you guys. Anyway, hope everyone's doing well. Leave me some comments so we can talk to each other. I miss talking to you guys. And I'll see you at the next one. Take care.